Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, we're on vacation with the family. The family went home yesterday evening, and we're still at Ottertail Lake, and it's raining this morning, first day of rain, so we were expecting to be outdoors with the lake in the background, but instead we're in the cabin with the corner in the background. And we're talking about resilience. So good topic for a rainy day when our plans are kind of going south a little bit. But it is a beautiful rainy day. It's gorgeous outside.
It's just a nice little pitter-patter of the rain. And sometimes, you know, even though you have other plans, those moments of, you know, where it rains, where you need to take a quiet moment, those are really beautiful moments too. So I'm really just enjoying this morning with my coffee, with my company, and just not having to go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah. So, resilience, and today is what?
Mental, emotional
resilience.
and flexibility.
Yeah, being emotionally, cognitive flexibility, call it. And what is that? What are we talking about? What does that mean?
When I think of cognitive flexibility or resilience, I think of how quickly do I come back from something. So let's say I get a thought in my, a thought comes up and it creates that feeling. Either it's, self-loathing, maybe it's sadness. And how quickly can I rebound from that? So really that for me is resilience. So it's not about the fact that these moments don't happen. I don't have these thoughts. I'm looking at a little Matchbox car under the couch and I get a little sadness because my grandson went home yesterday and he's such a little light in the room. But then at the same time, I can have that moment where I have a little bit of that sadness and then I allow it to kind of flip into gratitude. So it's really not about pushing away thoughts or pushing away those emotions that are uncomfortable, but it's really about sitting in them for a minute, giving them a voice, and then turning on that switch and changing.
Yeah. Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened. Right?
Or both.
And both. Right. Both.
Both.
So it's not this is a recurrent theme, but emotions are to be emoted and feelings felt. So no one is suggesting that you deny your emotional world. It's just that we have a more complete emotional world, and all of these things are just thoughts. They're just thoughts. Now that sounds weird. They're just thoughts. But we don't think so much about it, but our emotions come from a very instinctual, primal place, right? And they take over. And by recalling that they're simply thoughts, and how can we reframe that thought to be more empowering, is really a powerful place to start. And it's simple. It's just not easy.
Yeah.
There are many things in life are simple. They're just not easy. And this idea of reframing our thoughts, I think, is a powerful, powerful idea. Just like was demonstrated, grandson is gone, and it's so sad, and see the matchbox. And the funny thing is we've cleaned up about 6 of those that got left behind, and yet we just saw another one.
I just saw another one. It's like, how did we miss that yesterday?
Yeah. So cognitive flexibility has to do with being able to hold more than one idea in your mind at the same time. Sometimes disparate ideas, like some self-loathing kind of idea, but then reframing it into more of an empowering idea and holding them both, because that's how we feel at the moment. But the more we reframe it, the more we rethink the self-loathing idea, the less power ends up having, because we would never talk. Well, we live in a kind of a rude time right now, don't we? But we, generally speaking, would never talk to somebody else the way we talk to ourselves. We are clearly extremely rude to ourselves. And if you start to recognize that and think about it, and then reframe it and start to talk to ourselves the way we might talk to our best friend in our most compassionate voice, the world changes in pretty amazing ways.
Yeah, it's really about staying open. I think of it as staying open and creating space for new perspectives to arise. Staying open, like he was saying, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, it's about bringing the light to those dark areas as well, and bringing love to those dark areas, or those, intrusive thoughts. And I think when you kind of shine a light on them, and
sorry about that.
when you shine a light on them and you give them space, it does allow for a new perspective, or maybe an aha moment. If you think of something that you put on auto loop, or something you keep telling yourself, and really sit with that. And, where did it come from? What's it trying to tell me? And how can I reframe that? Like, how can I reframe that to be something different? And not, it's a lot of times it's still there. It comes from a place, it comes from moments in time, I should say. They're memories. And if you can just change it a little bit, I think of the movie Inside Out. If you have kids, you've probably seen the movie Inside Out. And, when sadness touches those core memories and then they turn blue, these beautiful moments are now sad moments. But at the same time, in the end, you find in the movie that, sadness is really what makes it, what makes it
powerful.
Yeah.
Or present.
Yeah.
Or prescient, maybe, is a better word.
So, it's not about pushing away that sadness.
No.
It's about holding space for the sadness, or holding space for any
emotion.
It doesn't have to be sadness. It can be,
Our memories are really tied to emotions. If we don't have emotions associated with a memory, they sort of drift away. Those moments that we don't remember that well, they weren't particularly emotional. People say, well, let's keep emotions out of this. We can't. We're emotional creatures. And those people who think they're not emotional are just fooling themselves. And it is emotions that really file our memories so that they can be retrieved. And that becomes an issue in trauma, right? Because with trauma, we have very visceral emotions associated with those memories. So a lot of cognitive flexibility has to do with reframing those traumas so that those deeply visceral emotions can be sort of recalibrated to the present, because the emotion was in the past and it's not current. So this idea of cognitive flexibility is really powerful and important for recovery in every aspect of life.
Yeah. Ask yourself, what else might be true in this situation? Yeah. You write it as a certain truth, but in reality, a memory is a memory of a memory of a memory. And so, what else might be true? What else maybe it's the same phrase you keep bringing into every circumstance, like it'll never work out for me, or maybe I'm not worthy of that, or maybe it's, it'll be better once I get this done, or or once I lose that 20 pounds, then I'll be happy with myself.
Get that new job or get that new thing.
Relationship or anything.
Yeah.
And you know, and while things, when you make a change, things in the moment, they feel better, those same feelings always return, because it's never about the thing. It's never about the thing. It's about what's inside. And it's about those stories you tell yourself. So if we can sit with those stories, ask ourselves, what's actually true in this? Or what's true for me now?
Our memories tend to amplify. And it starts out as somebody didn't like my shirt. And it amplifies to they don't like me. And, so we're living a miserable life about memories that weren't even true. So, what else could be true? And most of the time, we're thinking about stuff that isn't true. Or it's just someone's opinion, which doesn't make it true about you, right?
And they honestly probably don't even remember.
And they don't even remember. That's right. They said something off the cuff, and they forgotten, moved on to some new drama. So, this idea, but it's so seductive. These negative thoughts about ourselves feel so deserved and so seductive and so real. I am just a lousy, no good, and
the
addicting.
Hormones and the chemicals that come from them.
I'm just a lousy, no good sack of steaming dung. We can just say that to ourselves, and it feels so true, and I'm so isolated, and I'm just nobody. But that's just noise. It's not the truth. The truth is you're worthy. Your worthiness doesn't come from something you do or something you say or something you think. It comes from the simple fact that you're alive. That's what makes you worthy, nothing else.
And things can change. Things can change right now with a thought.
Yep.
Things can change with a new perspective. So always keep that in mind as well. It's about creating space.
Creating space, being flexible, understanding that there's more than one point of view, far more than one point of view, and choosing.
There's as many point of views as there are people in the world.
Yeah. You hear, especially these days, no compromise, no compromise. Well, that's going to make you very lonely, because no matter where you are, there's no two individuals who think exactly the same as you do. So having this notion of cognitive flexibility and cognitive resilience and the ability to see things from other points of view is really a key feature of a resilient life. All right. Well, where are we?
We're at about 15 minutes, so I think we're...
About where we want to be. Try to make the point without belaboring it. And listen, we have a new community. It's called Just Be Well. It's probably will be in the comments below very soon. And this is the kind of issues we tackle. We have a free course in there anybody can do, and then inside we have more elaborate courses. One that follows our book called Find Your Core, and then another course that we have called Rebalance to Heal, which is about your limbic system and the fact that most of us are running around in fight or flight, and we've created these sort of alarm pathways that sort of self-perpetuate, and how to extinguish those.
So we can heal.
And sort of the motto or the idea or theme of the community is really, people who have it all together on the outside but just feel unanchored on the inside, right? So if you're a really successful person who's doing all the right things and getting all the right stuff done, but you just don't feel anchored, you don't feel like you have community, that's the community we're building just for you. So maybe we'll see you inside there, and in any event, we'll see you next week right here. All right.
Not right here.
Not right here, but same bat time, same bat channel, sort of, unless we're a week late like we were this week.
Bye.